J. Crawford, Adam the Bull, Garrett Bush, Dustin Fox, Jason Lloyd, Tyvis Powell, plus, ba-da-da-da-da, you're loving him, Mikey McNuggets. And so many big names, it would take me hours to say all of their names. The ultimate Cleveland sports show starts now. Booyah!
Listen, man, we did so well this week. They just said run it back. I feel like Kobe Altman and the Cavs. What's up, fellas?
What's going on, man? You know what's crazy? I feel like the lineup has switched like 5 times this week.
It has.
That's summer.
What
Welcome
happened?
to summer.
Where is Bull?
I don't know. He got this. I don't know what kind of schedule he got. Like he got.
I left my coffee.
Let's see. Go get it, man. No. Hey, it's gonna be a long show. You know we got a lot to do.
I said we do got a lot to do today.
You gonna be out here looking around.
I leave my coffee here when I go home. I leave my coffee in the car when I.
You don't need it. It's just a placebo. Coffee is nothing but a placebo.
I like the taste. I'm a psychopath. Yeah.
You like it dark?
Ooh.
I mean, this we too early. This is what we way too early.
Only a minute and 46 seconds.
Hey, before we go any further, I do have a title sponsor today. Epicor. This show is brought to you by Epicor. From small businesses with big dreams to growing enterprises with global vision, Epicor will equip you with the right tools to move forward. Discover your success with www.easierwithepicor.com.
Well, yeah, it's.
Hi, guys.
Did y'all just see about that CEO and that HR lady
I
get
just
caught
saw
on
it. That
camera
is
at the
hilarious.
No. What happened?
The
No,
They got
Coldplay
caught on the
concert.
Jumbo Drive.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Coldplay concert.
Head of HR. Head of
They was
HR.
cuffed up.
And the CEO.
Bro, this is. Listen, I'm telling people right now. Let me get to camera one. Listen. We've talked about it on UCSS. Let us give you some relationship advice. First and foremost, the internet is alive and well, and when social media start kicking in, and all of y'all older dudes that be out here creeping around, y'all don't know the rules of engagement. First and foremost, you got caught at a concert, wifed up, booed up. You was up there holding hands.
They was cut. No, he was back. You know that hug from behind. That hug from behind.
It was high, too.
It was high.
It was a high hug.
That's that you
That's high.
secure with me hug. Like that's that one women feel so secure.
Bro, he was locked in under the covenant of the Lord. It looked like he like, this is mine. This is mine forever.
And you got to play the video, man. You got to find it and play it.
Let me go find it real quick.
Because the camera-
I sent it to you.
The camera hit him. He tried to scale from
they
the upper
both
deck.
I saw it everywhere this morning. I should have put it in.
There is
Sorry.
no way to come back from that. He better off gotten text messages read out loud because, he could have, because right there, that means and think about the excuse. He probably had to tell his wife that he was going to play basketball or something, some dumb excuse.
Late night meetings,
man,
business meetings.
Hey,
he the CEO, so I gotta go handle this meeting. You know?
Hey, listen, boy.
So not only does the Coldplay concert expose you, but then all of social media.
Now you're
now
mean.
It's everywhere.
I hope his company ain't public.
Is it the people that was on the news? Good Morning. Wait, what was they on?
Oh, Good Morning America?
Yeah, wasn't the two hosts?
Yeah.
Like, didn't they get caught doing some
They've
stuff?
been together for a while.
But
they was both married separately.
And
right?
then I think their exes got together for a brief period of time.
Is that true?
Oh, I don't know.
This might be better than this season's Love Island.
Let me know. Maybe I sensationalized it, but I thought the husband that got cheated on and the wife that got cheated on, they confided in each other and was like, well, we might as well just go ahead and just hang out.
Wait, that's how, isn't Steph Curry's parents like that? Like Steph Curry's mom and dad, they were married, but then like his mom cheated on his dad with some dude, and then his dad cheated on with her wife, and then now they got a divorce and now they together.
Listen,
it's like, hey man, hey people, whatever y'all into, man. Hey, man. Y'all like it, I love it. I ain't judging nobody. It's not for me though.
Listen, but that right there, he looked like
he got caught at the
he's
cold.
done. He is done. I don't know.
You know what? He'll never listen to Coldplay again.
I mean, he was in his feelings too.
It was so passionate.
It was a great concert right up until that point. They're having a great time.
The hug was so passionate, and the way they both, she turned the head.
There it is. Oh, that's the end.
It'll loop here. It'll loop.
Oh,
He is scaling his way out of the upper deck. I mean,
look at that.
Oh my God.
this man was whispering in her ear, I could do this forever.
Whoever the dude behind him
no,
going, yeah.
no. That woman right there, she was in on it.
Oh,
the one
she
to the left, that
she
was her friend.
mortified. Like, oh yeah,
she was the finance department. She was working in finance. She's like, listen, we're gonna go out here. Listen, it'll be fine. No one, who's gonna catch us at a Coldplay concert?
In the upper deck, in the top row of the upper deck.
God don't like ugly. You cannot get this off no more. I tried to tell y'all, just put it on. Now listen, that's just Anthony. It's just West Wild. What a way to start the show.
Yeah, you guys ready for our first football topic today? Because it's a big football show. We got a lot to talk about. And before we get into it, summer sports are in full swing, and whether you're all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little bit more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. And I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups and keep the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. If you're new to FanDuel, new customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started.
Well, listen, guys, rookies report to training camp Friday, and we talk about what is your confidence level in the rookies, and obviously some of them, a little bit more than others. And namely, what we're going to do here is we're gonna save Mr. Shedeur Sanders to last. We'll get to some of the other rookies and your expectations level for them, and what are you looking for? Because I thought at one point in time there would be an opportunity for, I just did this on Ultimate Browns, for Quinshon Judkins to be a not only starter but a playmaker for the Browns, somebody they leaned on. Now that's up in the air a little bit. Starting off with him,
Quinshon.
Yeah, Tyvis, what do you think? Has your expectations changed now after this happened? Because he may miss some significant time, and when he comes back, do you think Dylan Sampson or some of the other guys can step in for him?
I think obviously, if he's found guilty of all this, he's going to serve probably a minimum of 6-game suspension. So when he comes back from that 6-game suspension, now you got to get back in shape. You got to get back in football shape. You got to understand the playbook because things change as the week goes. Man. So that, to me, it's going to take him a little time to get caught up to speed. This year I had him getting at least 1,000 yards, obviously with the 6 games and with everything that I just said. I think he'd be lucky to get 500, 600 yards this year. Man. I think that'll be a solid, season. For him, though, when he gets out there, whenever he gets his opportunity to get out there, I just need to see him have that pop. I need to see him be able to get those tough yardages. If we get down to the goal line, is he a guy that can punch it in? Those are the things that I was expecting to see out of him. Now that he's not there, obviously Dylan Sampson and probably, I don't know if they're going to keep Pierre Strong, Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford, that deal.
Yeah, man.
Jerome, we seen this graphic, Jerome Ford, that guy. But anyways, man. I think Dylan Sampson, obviously he's going to have to play a big role. Him and Jerome Ford is going to have to figure some things out. Although essentially I think they're kind of the same when you talk about just like home run hitters. I will say Dylan Sampson is more of a balanced back. He does a really good job of keeping his balance, bouncing off of tackles and things like that. So he's going to have to play a pivotal part. And yeah, Jerome Ford, I guess he sat back and was like, well, I guess they need me a little bit more than they thought they was. So, yeah.
Hey, Jason.
Maybe he shouldn't restructure that contract after all.
He's like, can we talk about that again? Give me a couple of extra dollars. Now, Jason, I saw you shaking your head just now. And when you talked about that 6th game and Tyvis said he got to get back in shape, do you know if it's going to be some of the same as it was with Deshaun Watson, where if he gets 6 games, he can't be in the facility?
Yeah. If with these personal conduct policy violations, you can't be in the building for X number of weeks, and it's based on how long the suspension is. So, I mean, Mike got 5. Mike Hall got 5 games. Let's say it's 5. I agree with you. I think it's going to be at least 6, but let's say 5 since he got 5. Then there's going to be 2 or 3 weeks where he's not even allowed in the building. and you guys can speak to this better than I can, but how long it takes to get back in football shape, to get used to the hits and the speed and everything. If he's suspended 5, what are we looking at? I'm not saying he can't play, but to actually be a contributor and be up to speed, is that another 3 weeks on top of that?
Yeah. I say minimum 2.
So that's
at least 2 weeks to get back.
At now when's the bye? Week 9, 8?
Week 9, I think it's the week after the halfway. Well, I guess there is no halfway. I think it's 9.
Okay, so we're basically talking about half the season. Even if he's not suspended for half the season, I think before he could be a real contributor, you're down to half the season. Like that
hurt. It's just actually, to be truthful, as we talked about the peripheral stuff about what actually went down. When you start to break it down and see from a football standpoint how that affects you, because now you're looking at 9, 10 games before you even see dividends.
And I want to be sensitive to this because obviously the personal stuff is far more important than the football stuff. Like, I was going to say, like, this is devastating to the Browns, and it is, but it's devastating to the victim. Like, so let's be clear on that. Like, it's the personal stuff is far more important than the football stuff, but the football stuff, for the context of the show and for the context of the Browns, it obviously matters. When Kevin Stefanski's trying to fill out a depth chart and they're looking at the running back room, the guy who you were counting on, I believe to be the bell cow back, you don't have now for probably about half the season, and that's a best case scenario, by the way. I don't think it's going to be more than 6. I think 6 is probably what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Like, it could be, I guess.
I mean, depends on how much they dig into it, how much of it is factual.
From where we are, and the only thing like I can't say that he's guilty. The legal system will play out, but from what is in that police report, and from
all that is a fact.
From what and the cops did,
minimum 6.
They decided to take him in because of what the evidence they had known to them at that time. The judge made a decision based on the evidence at the time, and she said we're gonna move forward with it, or he or she, or whatever the case may be. So, knowing how the league is, they don't need you to get arrested to suspend you. Like, if you just in the mix, you can get it. I think it's tough, and it goes back to this because when you look at the rookies, the Browns were in a different little circumstance, and they're counting on some of these dudes.
Him.
They
were going back to Kevin's offense, which was very heavily involved in the run game. That running back has to become a threat for those linebackers to step up so we can start doing what we want to do. We can run those over routes behind them. And if Dylan Sampson or Jerome Ford or whoever's back there isn't a threat, as a linebacker, why do I need to step up? My thing is I need to make sure I can cover these dudes that drop or that's coming on these over routes. That's the guys that's more dangerous. If the running back is only good for 2-3 yards, like, okay, I can step up and make that tackle every time. Yeah.
Is it crazy for me to think that Jerome Ford is going to be a starter day one?
No, he is.
He probably will be, yeah.
I don't think Sampson's big enough to be a feature back in the NFL offense.
What's his measurables? 5'9"?
He's small. He plays a lot bigger than, but he's not Quinshon Judkins.
No.
Judkins is built different.
He is 5'8", 201 pounds, Tyvis.
So he's really 5'7", 195.
Yeah,
exactly.
He like Darren Sproles.
Yeah, he not.
I mean, he ran in the SEC, so obviously.
I like him a lot, but
as a guy who's going to get 18, 20 carries,
it's too much for him to be a one. Like to do this every play, to be that guy to do this. That's not his makeup.
You've moved kind of there. So that's just one of those things where if you were gonna go with the youth movement, you were gonna say, listen, at least we got Quinshon Judkins. We want to do some other things so we can get back to how we want to play football, and then that's kind of taken away. And here's the thing: I'm not making no excuses for anybody, but if anything, you have to look and say, okay, how many times is Kevin Stefanski gonna be like, dang, because this happened a lot. Like, you talk about when Deshaun got injured 2 years in a row when he got injured during the middle of the season. You talk about not only that, we forgot JOK just got injured and probably is never coming. That was your second best defensive player, right? So how many times, Stefanski isn't perfect, but, I mean, he hasn't been dealt any get out of jail free cards when it comes to this type of luck.
No, but that's the NFL. Like, injuries are part of it. They know that going in. It's this stuff that's unfortunate because you expect injuries. This is the kind of crap that you can't really prepare for, you can't really plan for, that I mean, it feels like an injury at this point. It feels like a knee injury.
It does.
A 2-month knee injury.
Go ahead, and you got a question from the chat?
Real quick, Jason. I was talking with somebody yesterday in Twitter DMs, and they were wondering, can you officially suspend somebody if they haven't signed their contract yet? Like, can the NFL do that?
Yes, they can.
And then the suspension begins when the contract.
Gotcha.
Because there's
they said it's something like if you enter the draft, if you did a draft, NFL combine, anything, if you've made yourself available for the NFL, you can, even if you're not under contract, you can still be suspended. That's how you see those free agents that fail drug tests,
right?
And they out for PEDs for 6 games. Like if you are able to be signed, you are subjected to all rules. That's part of the policy thing. So although he hasn't signed with the Browns, he still will have to serve whatever punishment is given.
Well, that's the running back room. Now that you see, we talked a little bit about Dylan Sampson a little bit. You guys just checked in and said, you don't think that he's going to be. It's a little too much to be a primetime feature back.
He'll be a contributor.
He'll be a guy that's going to play.
He's going to help
Dylan Sampson.
He's going to help him.
I think he'll be very solid. I think him and Jerome Ford, they both got that explosiveness to them. So that's just going to have to be what it is.
How do you guys see, I guess I'll go to the second offensive weapon since we on that side of the football. How do you guys feel about Harold Fannin Jr.? Now, this is a weird little case for me because obviously, is it David Njoku in a contract year?
I think this is final year.
Is this his final year?
Yeah.
This, to me, seems like it could be something where the Browns get to a point where you might start seeing Harold Fannin Jr. on some of the routes or some of the passing downs that you usually would see David Njoku. Not to say that David Njoku was washed. It's just a simple fact that this is a brand new toy. I think this now becomes the focus of, all right, let's watch a new piece that we got. How do you think Kevin Stefanski will use Harold Fannin Jr. and what do you think his, I guess, overall upside is, given the fact that he is in the mix with David Njoku? Jason?
Kevin loves him some tight ends. Mm-hmm. So this will now, I mean, again, you guys know this better than me. In a lot of 12 personnel, usually you have one pass catcher and one blocker. Mm-hmm. In this instance, I think it's kind of a weapon to have two. Mm-hmm. If Fannin can hold his own as a blocker, David Njoku's greatly improved as a blocker. I don't necessarily see this as Fannin as Njoku's replacement. I think they could sign David to another contract extension and keep both of them. And I mean, I hesitate to make this comparison, but the Patriots with Gronk and Aaron Hernandez, while he was killing people, was pretty good on the field.
Unaliving people.
So,
like, he was like, but
you see what I'm saying? Like, that, again, Gronk's a Hall of Famer and Hernandez is a crazy man. So you don't necessarily want to make that comparison. But in terms of their on-field production, in terms of their route running ability, pass catching ability, I kind of see that similarity.
Well, I always said when I seen them draft him, I said that they're dictating what defense is going to do. If you don't have, like, when you think about Aaron Hernandez and Gronk, who was their receiver one? Because I don't think Randy Moss was there. He was probably gone.
Was that Wes?
Wes Welker?
Yeah. Was that when he was there?
He was gone
Was
too.
it Brandon Cooks?
Maybe. The reason I bring that up is because when you talk about that Patriots team in particular, they didn't have all the wide receiver weapons. So the game of football, as we know today, everybody loves to come out in 11 or 10 personnel, meaning there's 3 wide receivers on the field. If I don't have 3 good wide receivers, why would I do that? Like, I'm not about to just put anybody out there. So what Kevin can do is I can make you play base. I can make you put that third linebacker in the game. How? I'm going to play 12 personnel. You're not about to put no nickel out there. Because if that's the case, we're going to run the ball right there and we're just going to blow him off the ball. So you have to play base. Now you're putting a linebacker out there who might not necessarily have the coverage ability that nickel would. And if I got 2 great pass catchers that's very athletic, if you do put a linebacker out there, they should be able to outrun them. If you put a safety on them, they're not as fast and they're not as big. So therefore, they can body them out and make things happen. So for Kevin, it's actually perfect to have Harold. Now, the only thing about this tight end situation is David Njoku has to stay healthy because that's always been a thing. When he's not in the lineup, if David Njoku gets hurt this year, this is the worst case scenario for him. He gets hurt this year and Harold Fannin becomes the number 1 tight end and starts making plays, your numbers is gonna get cut. It'd be like, all right, we can move on and we could get us a rookie tight end next year, and make the transition there. But if those two are together, if Joe Flacco, whoever's their quarterback, is feeding David Njoku and he's having the season that he had 2 years ago, and now you add Harold Fannin, who's a guy that they're not going to be expecting a lot of because he's a rookie. Mm-hmm. That's the guy. David Njoku is the guy who they're going to put their best cover linebacker on. So now Harold Fannin will be the X factor. If he goes out there and he creates separation and can make things happen in that 12 personnel, now you got an offense that's making things happen, and it's very hard to go against that.
How does it change?
It was Wes Welker.
He's
a slot, though.
Welker, he was their leading receiver. It was Welker, Deion Branch, and Brandon Lloyd for a year.
Yeah, see, that's not. Even though I love Brandon Lloyd, he was like Odell before.
Yeah.
I remember crazy catches.
Names from the past, man. How does when you talk about 2 tight ends? I remember as playing as a defensive lineman. Like,
it messes up the gaps.
I hate it. I hate
the fits. It causes confusion and run fits.
It's just like, because they can run anything.
You got 2 extra gaps that you got that people that you're telling a linebacker or a safety that he has to be a part. Or you could go slot formation and have that corner on their side, and now that's really where they don't want to be. They really don't want to fit no gap. And so you can really play that game.
And then the tight ends when they move out in motion, they could do a lot of things with motion. And that's what Kevin Stefanski does, because we getting lined up on strength and formation. Now when you have 2 tight ends and they lined up in that personnel, there is no strength to the formation unless you guys are going to call strength to the wide side of the field or a specific player or tight end.
But
if he get off that line of scrimmage and they start moving around and them calls get to changing, and you be like, hold on, do I got this?
Confusion.
Now, as a safety, this is funny because usually when you got those 2 tight ends, a lot of corners and safeties is like, no, I'm not trying.
It depends on what they call. If you're in a man-to-man, the corners will cross over. So if they do slot sets, so say there's 2 receivers on this side and they running that tight end with 1 on the ball and 1 off the ball and that grave digger formation. If it's man, that corner will travel over and play man on them two corners will play man on the receiver that had that safety kick over, and the safety would be that outside support.
I think I called you about that one day. I was like, man, what if they got these 2 twin tight ends?
But if they in zone, it's on the floor. That corner's in the fit. You in there? This is how they would do it. Is this the worst part? They would make them be that. What is that? A, B, C, D. That D defender. So he got that gap between the tight ends because they'll make that linebacker. Because if they're in cover 3, which the Browns play, your buzz player is the edge guy. He got to set the edge if they run towards him. So that means that corner would then have to play in the middle of that and have that crease.
And that's why
they go run that ball right there.
That's why Greg Newsome. I think I called you one time because I said, "What is Greg Newsome doing?" You say, "Hey, G, he's actually in the run fit, and he actually did the best he could."
Well, you remember he requested a trade when Joe Woods was there because he said, "I don't want to be in the run fit."
Yeah.
Well, he ain't going to be in the run fit because they're going to be in base, and he might not be on the field.
So why don't more teams run 12?
Because more teams don't have 2 tight ends that's good pass catchers. You got to have a threat of run and pass.
Right.
So if it's just that.
But so then when I'm just surprised Harold Fannin lasted as long as he did then.
Yeah. His tape was. And so crazy.
It's because he went to Bowling Green, but the reason that made him stand out is that he played his best games against better competition, like Penn State and all those. He had really good games. But everybody is really worried about his run style. They say he don't pick his knees up when he runs.
He looks deceivingly slow and uncoordinated because his feet go like this and he be moving around. But I keep telling people, they ain't tackling him. He done ran away from a lot of people that said the same thing. When you get the end around tight end reverse game, look at this. Look at his feet.
Now Kevin loves him some end around tight end reverse.
Listen,
But
that's coming back.
He definitely don't look fast though. Like,
that is definitely coming. Kevin is in his lab right now talking about.
Wasn't it Harrison Bryant? Who was the end around tight end?
Was it Harrison Bryant?
They ran it with somebody. I know they ran it with somebody.
Harrison Bryant became everything but the punter. He was taking quarterback.
He was quarterback.
Yeah.
That man. I'm interested to see what he can do.
Look at that. That's a safety he's doing that too.
And it's deceiving. And he got the number 0. Now listen, I don't know if you could do the pistol fingers.
You can't even do. You can't even wipe your nose.
Nah, you can't do that no more. They got that.
Is he really? What did he run in the 40? I gotta know.
I don't know.
Ain't no way.
I covered him in high school, and I didn't see this. Like I didn't see any of this.
4.1 or 4.71.
Okay, so he not that. I mean, he ain't slow, but he ain't fast.
But
he ain't no burner.
He ain't no burner. He's just. I guess he's just an athlete, man.
He better run some good routes to create separation.
Let's get to now. We want a little offense. I'm trying to think if I'm missing anybody. Oh, we can start with this.
Kind of missed the number 1 pick.
Yeah, we kind of missed.
Well, he on the offensive side of the ball.
We kind of missed. Mason Graham. Now, look.
The guy they took 5th overall, we're finally getting to.
Right? The guy we finally getting to. Mason, let's talk about it. Come on, Mason. Listen, I got no problem with you. Shout out to you.
Yes, you do. You literally said, you was literally for weeks. They better not take no defensive tackle. They better not.
It's not a knock against him. It's like saying, who do you like better, Prince or Michael Jackson? They both good.
Okay.
That was a great rebuttal. I thought so. But needless to say, when you talk about Mason Graham, I saw him on the internet the other day working his moves.
Mm-hmm. He's with Malik Collins.
Yeah, he was working. I saw him working. And you know what? This guy, the problem with him is he don't look like he got no sort of swag. It'd be like, man, when he takes his shirt off, you'd be like, man, he played for the Browns? This dude ain't even that strong or big. But then you have to go back and look. You'd be like, oh, that was a good move. And then the next one be like, oh, that was a quick get off. Oh, man, you down the line like that? I like that. Oh, that was great hand placement. He just one of them dudes that don't look like it, but he be out there in the backfield doing his thing. My thing is, when I'm looking at this, Jason, does he have to be a dominant force to justify the 5th overall pick?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think he can be. And, I think we talked about a couple weeks ago, just what he can provide for Miles on the outside, I think is more something that we haven't probably spent enough time talking about. And, I mean, we saw the way that Michigan just absolutely stoned Ohio State in that game.
What's wrong with you?
It's true. What do you want me to do? It's true. It happened.
Girl, you know it's true. Yeah,
it's the way you said it. Like
they
beat Ohio State. That's all that need to be said.
They did more than that. They whipped their ass up front.
He was throwing people up front like this.
They whipped their asses up front, and he was a big part of that. So you know when he's going to be in the run fit. But I just think what he provides, the attention that he can bring in pass rush, it could be a huge benefit to Miles.
Really?
That's
the highlight. That's the highlight, y'all.
Listen,
I mean, they got a lot to pick from in that game.
That's stout. Look at that. He making plays down the line. Look at that. Look.
We got.
Oh, you trying to reach me?
Rewind
you trying to reach me? Let me go ahead and lock you out and get to this play. Oh, you trying to double?
Y'all get on my nerves.
You see that?
Y'all get on my nerves.
Swipe move. All of that. Look at the hands. Look at the hands. Look at the hands. Get off me.
He was hemmed up.
Hey, listen, that's a no game. He stand up 3 technique. The stand up. If somebody stand up when you as a 3 technique is disrespect. That means you don't even need leverage and get low. That means you overhead clubbing people. Get off me.
He did that.
His hands, listen, it ain't never going to, trust me. I went viral for saying they can't pick him because it's Travis Hunter. I still like Travis Hunter. And if Travis Hunter get 1,500 yards, I might get salty again.
On my nerves.
However, when you look at his tape, it's undeniable. It's undeniable. It is. So I'm looking at it like this. You got him. You got Mike Hall. That should be a problem.
Yeah.
You listen?
That should be a problem.
Y'all gonna stop disrespecting Malik Collins, okay? When you mention D tackle, make sure you mention him in the rotation because I'm telling you, I think he gonna be. He
gonna be in the rotation.
I think he gonna be really, really good this year. Like shockingly, like really good.
Hey, listen.
He better be. They need him.
Like shockingly, like I think y'all gonna be like, who is this? Like I think he gonna be that type of player.
The way Schwartz wants to roll these guys in and out, the way you need to roll these guys in and out, you need more than two.
Like that dude right there.
I like him.
Like I said, I was only there for. Well, I was in Dallas with him. I think we was in Dallas together. Yeah, because he broke Lamar Miller's leg. I was there. We're in the preseason game. So when I seen the way how he did that, like how he beat, man, that dude got an attitude to him. So I'm just telling y'all, that's my dark horse candidate for like a dude on defense that nobody really talking about. But we talk about Mason Graham.
How many sacks this year?
For Mason Graham?
Yeah, how many?
2.
2?
2. 2.5.
That 2?
What? I mean, can you show me Mason Graham's stat? I mean, he averaged like 2.5 a year.
I mean, but you would.
I think he's more of a TFL guy.
I mean, but you.
Oh, 3.5. Excuse me.
That was
excuse me.
I mean, he was Myles Garrett too. Myles Garrett getting 3 people.
3.5.
You bumped him up.
3.5. You know how hard it is to get sacked as a defensive tackle?
Oh, I know.
I was about to say, we're not about to see her act like he about to come out there. He ain't Aaron Donald.
Oh, there is a lot that goes on in there.
Thank you. So like 3.5, that's good. Like
I want Jason. How many you get next year?
I'm with Tyrus. I think the pressure, then the disruption,
That's just
doesn't show up in the numbers.
I think he's a TFL, and Miles will get sacks.
Yeah, I'm not as hung up on the sack, but in general, I don't get hung up on sack numbers. I just think sometimes we pay too much attention to the sack numbers, and it's not, especially at his position, the pressure and the chaos that he can cause in the middle to free up Miles to maybe not see a triple team as often. They're still going to double him, but maybe they don't get the chip in on top of it. So, I just think in general, his contributions at that position won't always show up on the stat line. But if you turn on the film and you talk to the coaches, that's where he's going to make the impact.
There is a way, by the way, that the Cleveland Browns can overachieve this year. And it has nothing to do with the offense. If they get Alex Wright back, because he looked like he was playing good, Isaiah McGuire, solid. You got Mike Hall Jr., showed flashes, get upfield. And this is the first time I believe that Jim Schwartz has had that type of defensive tackle. That's what he likes to play.
Yeah. When
you look at Nick Fairley and Ndamukong Suh when they had them in Detroit, they wanted D tackles to get upfield. They're not worried about being in gaps and all that. They want you to disrupt the football on the way to the quarterback. They got 2 of those. Obviously, you got Myles Garrett. If all 3 of those guys or all the new guys step up, I think that the Browns could overachieve this season, because their defense will keep them in a lot of games.
Well, I mean, that's kind of how they was winning
back then.
When it
with
went
Flacco.
Like it was a lot. We talk a lot about what Flacco did, and the 300-yard games was great, but we can't deny the fact that their defense wasn't they number 1 in the NFL?
They was top 3 for the whole year. I think they was number 1, and we was talking about historically.
Early on.
Yeah, historically.
Granted, they went up against some quarterbacks that wasn't really that great.
But the way they did Joe Burrow and the way they did the 49ers.
Was that the year Miles kept getting up and moving around against Cincinnati?
That was when the Myles Garrett basketball player.
They need to bring that back. And since Mason Graham got tape of doing it, they should put them both standing up and let them just crisscross some stuff.
So now we got to Mason Graham. Let's get to Schwesinger. Now now look, to me, he has to be a day 1 starter.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I don't know who else is. I don't even. No, wait a minute. It's my
they
boy,
got Jordan Hicks, right?
My boy Jerome Baker. He's playing the wheel, right? Jordan Hicks played Mike.
Yeah.
He playing the wheel because that's what JOK played with
and
wheel.
They signed Devin Bush back, but
he played Mike too.
Yeah, he's gonna start.
Jerome Baker is a wheel.
Schwesinger get a start. He better. Something went horribly wrong if he's not.
I better not see him on special teams running around on punts talking about good job.
He could rotate in. I need to see number 17 out there.
I need to the JOK thing, and I don't know if it's just me. It hurts me because I thought JOK was about to be on that precipice.
He was.
He figured it. Go back and watch against the Texans.
Man.
He was not. He was the best player on the field that game for the Cleveland Browns, and Myles Garrett was out there against the Texans. You take a look at what he was able to do in the middle of that defense, which made that defense great. Schwesinger, to me, a lot of people didn't call his name. A lot of people didn't recognize when they called his name, but when you look at it, what do you think and project he's going to be like? Is he a Joe Schobert, or is he more of on the lines of, and it's kind of blasphemous, like, or is he more on the lines of, say, for instance, like a DeQuell?
So I think he's one of those linebackers that he's underratedly athletic. Like, people look at him and you would think that he can't move like that, but he moves very well. Yeah. I mean, I watched some tapes, some breakdowns of him. The dude is a disruptor. He kind of fits exactly what you wanted. You know, like, he's not JOK, but like I could see Jim Schwartz getting with him and them linebackers coach getting with him and clearing things up so he can trigger a little bit faster. But when he moves, man, he moves well, he covers well, he tackles well, he blitzes well. He does everything that you want out of a linebacker. I just don't know why, why he was like a late bloomer. Like, why more people wasn't high on him. But dude played with violence. Yeah. And that man get into coverage and he can deflect, he gets some PBUs.
Jason, the Browns identify him.
Huh? He's just always around the football.
Yeah,
they identified him and liked him.
Player.
Yeah.
They liked him and thought that he might not be there. Like, on board if they didn't take him where they took him. Mm-hmm. Your thoughts on him, and do you think, to me, he has a lot of upside where you'll look up in a couple of years and they'll put that graphic up and say, Carson Schwesinger led the league in tackles the last 2 years, and you don't even know his name.
Yeah. Yeah, I this sort of piggybacks off the defensive line. Like, I don't think a lot of people are paying attention to the Browns' defense right now for obvious reasons, but they do have the potential to be very, very good, particularly up front. And when the front four can cause chaos and wreak havoc, it opens up for guys like this to clean up and make plays. So I think he's always around the ball. He's got a nose for the football. I agree with you. I think he's a lot more athletic than people gave him credit for. And he's a guy that I think the city's going to fall in love with because he's just one of those guys that just makes plays.
Yeah,
he one of them hard worker guys. Like, when you turn the tape on, I don't think I'll see him loaf. Like, he one of them dudes that's gonna run to the ball no matter where it's at. 4 quarters, he just gonna sprint to the ball. He gonna always try to be around the ball. I always appreciate players like that.
In my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm visualizing when the season starts. That's a nice field right there, man. Sorry, I'm supposed to be hosting, but look at this. Look at
that tape.
Look, get up out of my way, man. They're going to be highlighting. First of all, guys, take a look at Carson Schwesinger. Look at this. There ain't no give up. There ain't no sideline to sideline. Watch how he tracks this ball carrier down.
Because he's a former walk-on.
He got a good drop.
When you're a walk-on,
good feet.
You always have that. Like, I don't think that ever goes away. You gotta fight and earn every.
Wasn't Baker a walk-on?
Yeah, and he still got, like, you don't have a chip, he's got a rock.
Man,
and I think it goes for a lot of these dudes who are former walk-ons that always have to, like, fight for every scrap that they get. That never goes away.
He fits the city of Cleveland.
I think he could be a real. I think he could be a real sleeper. I think he's going to do some.
He's going to have to be.
Day one starter to me.
No, he's going to have to be.
Day one. Let's get to Dillon Gabriel. Now this is a difficult one because I think Dillon Gabriel. Anybody else with a different psyche than Dillon Gabriel, I think this will be a very tough position for him because Dillon Gabriel is a guy who does not like the spotlight. He's a dude that rides around in a minivan, very soft-spoken. He don't get into a lot of different things, even though he's a third-round pick.
He's shorter than the one dude that
people don't.
He's shorter than me.
He don't. A lot of people look over him, and so for some that would be difficult, especially as a third round. And plus, I think that he knows he was overdrafted a little bit, right? Like, he's like, "What?" But I'm not going. I'm going to take it though. When you look at Dillon Gabriel, I'm going to throw this one out. Do you think he's the first or second guy off the bench?
First. Yeah.
First.
So you going to say
I think
Flacco starts. Dillon Gabriel gets the first opportunity after Flacco.
Yeah. I think, the thing with this is I think for whatever reason, I think Kevin Stefanski works the best with quarterbacks that don't have the big name. Like I don't know why if that makes sense. Like outside of Joe Flacco, like Case Keenum, Kirk Cousins was coming into his own before. Like the people that's not. I don't know how to explain it. They got like that extra athleticism or something like. He's one of the guys. Dylan Gabriel is a guy that you know what you're getting. He gonna go in there. Kevin say I want this done. He gonna do exactly what Kevin says. He ain't gonna improvise it or nothing. He gonna do that. Like I think that is why they kind of like him, if that makes sense. But he's a baller though. Like that. I don't want people to get it messed up like he's a bum or something. Like he's really a good quarterback. Like the only thing about him is he's short.
If he's 3 or 4 inches taller, he's a first-round pick.
Yeah, like he's just short. But like if they find a way to overcome his shortness where he's not, he can see down the field or they're moving the pocket and he can still deliver the football without it getting batted down. Which, by the way, I used to think I didn't like short quarterbacks because they always get their balls batted down. That's not even the case. Actually, some of the shorter quarterbacks don't really get their ball batted down. Like Kyler Murray, Bryce Young, like those aren't guys who lead the league in batted balls. Like which is crazy for me to think. When I looked that stat up, I was crazy to see like it's actually like Josh Allen's and stuff like that. So, with that being said, I think Dylan Gabriel is going to be a lot better than people think. I think everybody wants to see Shedeur, and I do too. But I think even in the preseason, I think Dylan Gabriel is going to be able to run an offense, get him up and down the field, and execute the offensive call.
Jason, this is a very tricky thing because you got to look at the pecking order. So if Flacco goes, right, and he plays well and we expect something to happen where you don't want to risk injury or nobody, but we just say he's 41 years old and he has not
where I
finished the
stand on this Flacco Pickett thing, but right. I'll let that go.
Okay.
Continue. I'm not sure Flacco's a starter, but go ahead.
All right.
For the sake of this.
Or for the sake of it could be Pickett too. All right. So either one of those guys, whatever one they pick, they falter. The interesting thing is going to be you got Dylan Gabriel and you got Shedeur. When you take a look at it, it's a dangerous game going number 2. And the reason why it's a dangerous game going number 2 is whoever goes number 2 has to play well enough so they don't want to see number 3.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like going 2, but if you start out the gates and you go second and you kind of iffy, the next dude is coming in.
Well, in his situation, the fan base want to see. Not just the fan base, the world wants to see Shedeur.
So you know how good he got to play coming out number 2?
Yeah.
He got to put it out of reach. He got to play so well that people say, we can't even do that, bro. He threw for 340 games in a row. Look at his efficiency. Yeah. He leading the team. And I think the biggest thing is wins. If these rookies is getting wins, that puts more emphasis on it. No, it don't.
They shipped Philip Walker right out of here.
Oh, my goodness.
The most winningest quarterback we didn't have
Prerequisite is you got to at least have a 65 overall grade in Madden. He didn't have it. He was a 58. They moved on.
I just want you to know that the wins don't mean nothing because Philip Walker was winning games and people couldn't stand him.
Philip Walker couldn't complete a pass in the second half.
They won the game, though.
They did win the game.
Okay.
Not because of him, in spite of him.
Jason, if he goes second, do you believe there is a conundrum in going second?
No, because I think they're going to play. I think they're going to play them all anyway.
Regardless,
they've got 1 year to figure this out. This is a gap year. They got 1 year to see these guys before they have to make another decision at quarterback. So I think they want to get live rounds with both of them. So I think they're both going to see the field, both Gabriel and Shedeur, and they should.
Could you see this as a year to find out who the backup is for next year?
Could be, yeah.
I thought about this, play them both, no matter what. And if you still gonna draft the number 1 quarterback, you're gonna draft the quarterback next year anyway. But now you got a backup.
They really like Dylan Gabriel. They really, 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 really like Dylan Gabriel.
They drafted him.
And they drafted him really high.
When it didn't look like nobody else was going to do it, but they took him.
They like the way he processes.
Right.
He is really quickly picked up the playbook. Again, the only knock on him, he's got a ton of experience. The only knock on him is he's short. And he did get passes batted down during these mini camps. So that's an issue. If he's 3 or 4 inches taller, he goes a hell of a lot higher than what he went. So, but the thing with him is the backup quarterback, and this happens throughout the league. It's not that unusual, but I do think it's just something worth considering. The fact that he's left-handed, you know, if your starter's right-handed and your backup's left-handed, I just think that messes with teams a little bit, doesn't it?
It looks a little wonky when he throws.
It changes the
sight level.
And I mean, you know, Tua's left-handed. I don't even know who Miami's backup is, but I'm assuming he's right-handed. I don't remember who it is now. So, I mean, it happens all the time. But I would think, ideally, you would want your backup to be the same hand as your starter.
Now, Anthony, I know we're going to go to a read. Did I read somewhere on the rundown? Because I was going to ask this question. Do people believe that Shedeur has the makeup to be a backup quarterback? And what I mean by that is, generally speaking, we saw it with Jameis Winston. Jameis didn't do nothing wrong, but some people say, "Oh my goodness, the backup quarterback is talking." You know, coaches don't be like they don't like noise. I think alone from the specter of what Shedeur Sanders is, I think most people are going to want to see him as a starter, and that's kind of deep to deal with, especially when you got to deal with people that's sitting behind somebody. So I think that was something in the rundown or whatever, but we'll get to it.
Yeah, that's going to be up next. But before we get into it, I do have some business I got to take care of, guys. So we're not having a full show tomorrow. And Earl's going to do 216s. He's going to be live today at 5 o'clock. If you didn't see what Shedeur was doing for the community over in Garden Valley, if you missed it on Twitter, Earl and Cecil are going to be talking about that today live at 5 o'clock. And then tomorrow morning, you're going to get an extra 216 at 11 a.m. to replace our normal show because too many of us were off. So make sure you tune in to 216 tonight, live at 5, especially for Shedeur content. And then tomorrow morning again at 11 a.m. He'll be there. Cecil will be there. And then before we get into our Shedeur topic, today's episode is brought to you by Epicor. Every team knows the value of hard work, of taking pride in what you build, and in practicing every detail to get the best results. But no one player, no matter how amazing, can do it all alone. Working together makes getting the win easier. At Epicor, the All-Stars are the hard-working manufacturers and distributors who create and deliver the things we all need, from aerospace to electrical to medical devices. ERP solutions are created by industry experts to help every day be easier. Seeing your whole supply chain, managing logistics, and responding to price changes, all made simpler. From small businesses with big dreams to growing enterprises with a global vision, we'll equip you with the right tools to move forward, think ahead, and lead the way. Because as the clock ticks down, you need to make the most out of every hardworking minute. And easier doesn't cut corners, easier finds the lane. Discover your success at www.easierwithepicor.com. That's www.easierwithepicor.com.
All right, we kind of foreshadowed it before the read. We saved everybody, and obviously we got to Shedeur Sanders. Now, coming off the Dylan Gabriel conversation, I think, you know, when you talk about what is Shedeur Sanders' upside going to be this year and what he's planning to do or what he might look like, I think it has a lot to do with the order in which these guys are going to be playing, whether it's Kenny, one of the veterans we assume will start the season off, whether that's Pickett or Flacco. We asked the guys, they believe that Dylan Gabriel would get the first opportunity unless something changes in the preseason, during some of the preseason games. But if you have Shedeur Sanders, right, how many games do you need to see him in order to evaluate what his upside is?
I feel like we did this exercise when we did the 6 games thing, and we realized that it really isn't that big of a sample size.
It's not even close.
Yeah. I think that it's so weird. The quarterback position is so weird because people are different. You know, it's quarterbacks that come in their first year and they just look amazing. Like, and you're like, oh, yeah. And then the next year, their sophomore year, they take a slump. Then it's vice versa. It's guys that come in their rookie year and struggle, but then the game slows down for them, and then they take off their second year. So for Shedeur, I mean, to me, when you're in the NFL, the number one thing you chase is consistency. Like, that's the only thing he can do is go out there and consistently put good tape out there. You know, when he's out at practice, when he's in the huddle, he's consistently going to the right places. He's consistently making the right adjustments. He's consistently putting the ball in the right place. That keeps you around for much longer than a couple of splashes here and there. I think he's doing a really good job, you know, off the field with all the stuff that he's doing in the community and all of those things, because what it does is it's got the fan base wanting him. Like, I want that guy to be the starting quarterback. So I think he's doing a good job there. And he's doing everything as far as this right here. You see workout videos all the time. Now, the thing about this is he's showing you, like, I'm putting in that work. And as a fan, we love to see that. But the funny part is, I sat here and thought about it like, what do you think, Dylan Gabriel is just sitting on his hands? Like, he's doing the same thing. He's just not – it's just something about being able to see it, though, that changes the trajectory of what we think of a prospect. For him, though, I'm rooting for him to get out there and make an impact. Obviously, the preseason is going to be big for him. Them joint practices is going to be big for him. And as long as he can pick up the playbook and make those plays – because he's got his teammates even saying, like, if Chad Johnson is correct, and Denzel Ward said he liked that, like he that deal, like he's even got his teammates going to bat for him. So, you know, he's won the locker room over. He just got to consistently keep showing those coaches that I got the playbook down. If it is the playbook, he got to show them, hey, I got a great understanding of the playbook. I can get in and out of the huddle. I can make the adjustments on the field. You know, if you give me 2 or 3 calls, I can or kill one play and go to the next play, make sure that we're in the right thing. I can look at the protection and say, oh, they're running this front. We need to check to this and we can get to that. Like, he needs to do those things. If he's doing all of those things, he will find his way on the field, and there's no doubt about it. There's nothing that they can do to hold him off the field.
It's the playbook is the biggest thing with him. It's not the on-field. It's not the on-field.
Well, it's clearly not on the field because we see all the highlights.
Yeah, it's for him, it comes down to, do you know the playbook? Do you know what they want to run, and are you comfortable?
Have you watched The Quarterback on Netflix this new season?
No, because I didn't drive to West Virginia.
That's a shame. Well, they on one of the episodes, I think it's the beginning of episode 3. You know, they're talking to Joe, Jarrett, and Kirk about how, like, you get 25 seconds on the play clock. Run me through what goes through your mind. And literally everything I just said, the first thing I'm doing is they give you 2 to 3 plays. You come out there. First thing I'm doing is looking at the clock, looking at the play clock to see how much time I got. Sometimes I got 14 seconds. Sometimes I got 12 seconds. So then I got to look at the protection and make sure, all right, blah, this is the front, the end. We ran this before to this front and it was successful. So I'm checking to that. Or I got 2 plays and I see that the secondary is in this, if it's 2 high or if it's 1 high. If it's 2 out, if it's 2 back there, are they playing cover 2 or are they playing cover 4? If it's 1 high, is it man-to-man or is they playing cover 3? You got to figure that out. Once you figure that out, now I got to figure out what out of those 2 or 3 plays the coach gave me, which one to go to. So I'm going to kill the first play. So you see them can or kill or whatever they say for the first play. Now everybody knows we're going to play 2. And now, boom, I got to be ready to snap the ball. Like, that's a lot of stuff to process. And
you got 5 seconds.
Yeah, like, that's a lot to process. So I don't know if people really understand, like, what goes into being a quarterback. But that right there is every play. And you got to do that like 70 to 80 times a game. And if you don't know that playbook like the back of your hand and you don't know them checks and adjustments like the back, it's hard to put you out there because now I can't give you 2 plays to call. I can only give you the 1 play to call. If the playbook thing is the problem, I still haven't confirmed or confirmed or denied that that's really what it is.
It is.
But that is a major part because you have to be able to do that if you're going to play quarterback in the NFL.
But in terms of what's funny to me is like the original question: does Shedeur have the makeup to be backup quarterback?
Oh yeah.
All the noise around Shedeur like is generated by us. Like as a kid, he's not kidding. Young man, as a young man, I think he's been great. Like he always says the right things. He has
had 1 incident, speeding.
Yeah, I mean, and
which we all do.
Yeah, But the only thing with that was if you got a team that's looking for a reason not to trust you, don't give them a reason. But aside from that, I don't care about the speeding stuff. I don't think it's that big of a deal. I never, it's nothing I haven't done myself today, probably.
right now. Yeah, well. Like I was just on the road.
So I think he can't because in a locker room you do as the backup quarterback, you need to keep your mouth shut and your head down. And you work and you be ready. I think absolutely he could do that. But I do think that there's a lot of teams out there that don't want to deal with all the extra that comes with him. And the unfortunate part about that is I don't think he really generates a lot of that extra. I think his dad generates a lot of the extra, a lot of the social media stuff, which he does put out there, so that does fall on him. But there's a lot of guys doing that. But in terms of like who he is at his core, I think he'd be great as a guy who, if if it's not there right now. I'm still convinced they're taking another quarterback at the top of the first round next year. And one of these guys has to be overwhelmingly fantastic to change their mind. But as a guy who could hang around for a couple of years, yeah, I think he could. And as a guy who could develop for a couple of years, yeah, I absolutely think he's shown that he can do that. If he's not ready on day one, now we'll just see. We'll just see who gets the opportunities now.
Yeah, I think this is why I'm so excited about the preseason, right? And a lot of people say, "Oh gosh, here goes preseason. That's practice." But this, to me, is going to be one of the most pivotal times to watch the Cleveland Browns. It's going to be must-see TV, because, Tyvus, you know this. There's things that you could do in practice. That's cool, right? But the great thing about being a quarterback is, and a lot of them can't even explain it to you, when the ball is snapped, they could do all they want to. They could, they could tell you to play. They could tell you what the progression is. They can help you understand and diagnose what the defense is trying to do to you. But the best thing about the great quarterbacks, or quarterbacks that play well on Sundays, is something happens where they see it a different way. They don't look like they got it in practice, but then all of a sudden you're like, bro, this dude is doing this in the game, because the coach can't coach you once the ball snapped. It's just up to you and where I need to make the plays and where I need to go. And so we'll get a chance to see a lot of this stuff, because it'll become evident with the playbook, right? So in preseason games, we'll see how quickly he gets out of the huddle.
Yeah.
We'll see how quickly he checks. We'll see how quickly he gets pressed. Do they got to take timeouts because people ain't in the right place? Mm-hmm. All those things will become evident now, because you get to see that body of work right there in those game situations. The sacks, are you taking sacks? Are you getting rid of the ball? Are you getting to your back foot, getting on time? All of these things we're going to get an opportunity to see. And then I think we can really put a definitive note on what it is and how well they're playing and picking everything up.
I'll be interested to see the movement as far as depth chart goes. The first game, who they played for? Carolina? Is that the first preseason game? I think
yes.
so. So, like, Carolina, we'll go out there.
Before you do, let me ask you this, because you played in a lot of preseason games. Have you seen where you guys, a guy could be ahead of a guy, or, they could be perceived light years away, and then in like a week after a preseason game, they make mass shuffles where it'd be like, dang, he was with the ones, now he with the threes?
Yeah, that happens all the time. It might not go from ones to threes. You're gonna go 1 to 2.
Right.
But that depth chart that depth chart definitely moves, especially 3 to 2 or 2 to 1. Like that, yes.
So you come in one week and you with the twos, and the next week they line up and it's like, you're not getting reps. You just holding bags.
No, when you come in every day you go out to practice, this is the depth chart for the day. And you'll see, all right, I'm with the twos today.
If you're not with the twos.
Next time you come in, all right, I'm with the threes.
So they post the threes. You just
next time you come in,
you might be coming in.
You ain't coming in.
Next time is you rotate, or it's the new one. You rotating in at 3. You at the threes, but you rotating.
Oh, that's nasty work.
So what's going to happen?
That's nasty work.
If there's 4 plays with the threes, you come in after 2.
You got 1 rep.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That hurt.
That's really how it works. So you will
and
know.
Then the next day, bring your playbook.
Yeah, you will know
in the office.
Trust me, when I
got
in my cup of tea career, I promise y'all, I got a diary. I kept a diary with me when I played in the NFL. In that diary, I kid you not, I used to predict when I was getting cut. I knew it. I knew it.
You knew the telltale signs?
I knew on Wednesday I could tell you if I was getting cut on that by the end of that week. And I promise you, I was right 99% of the time.
What was what is the
depth chart? The depth chart tells you everything.
Did the coaches, when the coach walked past you in the cafeteria, don't say that?
No, it don't necessarily be the coaches. Like your coach ain't really like even when I got cut at San Fran, when I had to be when I got into my mode at San Fran, when I knew I was getting cut, we had a Monday practice, right? We must have been coming off a bye, so we had a Monday practice. When we came back on Monday, I was starting on special teams, right? Okay. Tuesday, we off. Wednesday, when we came back, I was all the way at the bottom of special teams. And I'm looking like, I'm looking like, whoa, just 2 days ago, what's this? So in my mind, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what this about. So
This ain't that funny. I'm sorry to laugh at you like that.
it's not funny. It is, but it ain't. So I got an attitude about it. Like I'm sitting there, I'm mad. So I put my hoodie on. I went just like this. I had my hoodie all the way like this, and I tied it real tight, right? So the only thing you can see is my eyes.
Oh, you upset?
So everybody was like, "What's wrong?" I ain't laughing or nothing. Usually I'm like class clown. I'm in the back joking. I ain't laughing or nothing. So I'm knowing that I'm getting cut. So everybody like, "Why you think you getting cut?" I said, "Listen, I'm telling you, they gonna cut me on Saturday. I promise you." So I'm talking to Halfley. Shout out to Jeff Halfley. He the DC with the Packers now. I'm talking to Halfley like, "You not getting cut." Like I talked to like they ain't told me nothing. I talked to Robert Saleh, the D coordinator. He was like, "Tyvus, you are not getting cut. Why do you think that?"
Liar.
Saturday came around. Mind you, I haven't said 2 words all week to nobody. Like I'm not talking to no one because I know what it is. Saturday come around. We go out to do our walkthroughs. Go walk through. Say like, see, you ain't getting cut. They was gonna cut you in the middle of the day. All right. We get done with walkthroughs. We walking in the locker room.
You had your cleats.
He's sitting right there. Let me talk to you. I said, didn't I tell y'all? Didn't I tell y'all? I said, I already knew. So the depth chart speaks volumes, is what I'm saying. You will know what the situation is.
You're walking to your own execution.
He didn't even take his cleats.
I already knew what it was.
Let me talk to you real quick.
Yeah, he was sitting right there. Let me talk to you. I said, I know. I said, bro, I've been waiting on you since Wednesday. I've been waiting on you since Wednesday. I already know.
Who's waiting on us is our guest. And you got to read before we get to him.
Yeah, before we bring in our friend over from Locked On A's podcast, summer sports are in full swing, and whether you are all about baseball under the lights, golf on the green, or high-stakes soccer action, FanDuel is the best way to make every game even more exciting. You're already following the action. Why not make it a little bit more thrilling? With FanDuel, you can get in on the game while your friends are getting sunburned at the beach. I've been using FanDuel to track my favorite matchups, and the app keeps it fresh with new daily promotions and fun ways to bet. New to FanDuel? New customers can bet just $5 and get $150 in bonus bets if your first bet wins. Open the FanDuel app today or visit FanDuel.com/UCSS to get started. And I'd like to bring in Bunni from the Locked On A's podcast, guys.
Hey, how you doing today?
Boys, how you guys doing?
Hey, listen, man, we're doing good. By the way, I must say, I love one of the most classic uniforms of all time is the classic A's uniform with the white cleats. Top 5 to me, bar none, in all of baseball.
Yeah, A's have always been great with their classic uniforms, right? The white one with the A's here, or the green one with the A's there. They have the yellow one this year going on with the A's. Absolutely, no question.
I'm trying to figure out why you ain't got Mark McGwire on the wall.
You know what? They just didn't have it. When you look back at McGwire, though, you look back at his career, it's more of a Cardinal, right, than an A. Absolutely, he had the rookie year with the A's and part of the Bash brothers and part of the history, but he was part of the many guys we just kind of left, you know.
Yeah. Are y'all considered Oakland A's or Sacramento?
We don't have a city right now, man. We don't have a city right now, man. We're considered athletic. Only team in the history of sports not to have a city. So we don't have a city right now.
That is crazy.
But I'm wondering.
So crazy.
When you look at the A's lineup, and obviously, you know, the A's and Guardians kick off a series this weekend. When you look at the A's, they're sort of like a small market team, not a lot of money to spend. But the amount of gorilla monsters that they have assembled in the lineup makes me envious as someone living in Cleveland who I just watch how they've done this. And walk me through how their lineup has come together. Obviously, you kind of sort of picked Rooker up off the scrap heap from Minnesota. But just the way that this lineup has been assembled and fallen into place, I don't know. I mean, the pitching's still got to come,
Yes.
But this team can absolutely mash.
Absolutely mash, and that was the story with them last year too. Second half, and it's all from within the franchise, right? You got Lawrence Butler, who was a 6th-round pick. You got Jacob Wilson, rookie shortstop. He's probably batting second. You got Nick Kurtz, 4th-round pick from last year. You got Max Muncy, who was a 9th overall pick in 2021, I want to say, or a 1st-round pick. You got Tyler Soderstrom, who was a 1st-round pick in 2022. So the big thing with the A's and what has been their deal throughout history is They've drafted as about as good as anybody, and they've developed these players. And more than that, with the A's and not signing the free agents, they've been given an opportunity to play at the big league level, where other franchises really don't give those rookies a shot. So that's the huge thing with the A's right now. I mean, Shea Langelier's 9th overall pick that we traded for. So you look at our lineup, you look at who we have. It's exciting as far as the future goes. And yes, the pitching has to come together. That's always been the big issue. Jeez, I mean, we're a fun, exciting team right now. We're playing good ball right now, and we're playing loose. So I think it's going to be a real fun series against the Guardians this weekend.
You know, Bunni, you just mentioned something to me like, as we talk about the Guardians here. It looks like you guys are the exact opposite of the philosophy of the Guardians. You guys are going out, you're drafting guys, you're developing them, especially when it comes to the bats. You're getting them in the lineup earlier than most teams in the Major League Baseball. For the Guardians, on the other hand, we got DeLauder and Kafis and we just got Bazana, and who knows when we'll see him with the Guardians' track record. You know, when you look at the two different philosophies. As a small market team, do you believe that that's the way you have to go instead of playing veterans and trying to, I guess, get guys off the scrap heap? Do you think it's better in the A situation or the Guardians or smaller markets where you play your guys early?
Is when you talk to fan bases and you see fans and they say, for every team, hey, let's spend. Well, there's a second part to that question. Who do you want to get? And who do you want to replace, right? It goes a little bit more in depth for that. For example, that was the big thing with the A's this offseason. Our top 2 free agents we signed, I wish we never signed, in Severino and Leclerc. I mean, that's right now $32 million a year we're spending on guys that have cost us games. So there's one more question that you have to add to that. With regard to the Guardians, I think the big thing with the Guardians is simply getting Bieber back, right? I mean, he had his rehab assignment yesterday. I mean, he's a legit number 1, and how is he going to be when he comes back? But the Guardians have been great over the last several years, and you have a legitimate superstar in Ramirez. But the thing with the Guardians is getting their best pitcher back. The bullpen's been nuts, and you've had hitters that have let you down a little bit with regard to Lane Thomas and a couple other ones. And tomorrow is a big pitcher for you in Slade, and you gave up a big hitter for him. So I think the Guardians are there. As far as not spending versus spending, again, the question is one step further. Who do you want to get and who do you want to replace?
Let me ask you, you talked about the A's and how they need to get the pitching together. But would you, if he was made available, okay, and y'all was closer, I know right now y'all like 11 games.
11, yeah, we're right there.
Yeah. If you was closer, would you, not knowing that Shane Bieber has not pitched this year, would you be okay if the A's had went after him? Let's say y'all was like 2 games out.
Yeah, I love Bieber. I wanted to hit him in the offseason. I thought it was a steal for the again, this is me looking back in the offseason. I've been wrong a lot this year. But I love Bieber. I still think he has his stuff. You come back from that type of injury, who knows how you're going to come back. You could come back better. You could come back worse. It should be interesting to see what the Guardians do in the next 2 series. I think that's going to decide what they do in the end of July. They're only 4.5 back. But I like Bieber. If we were 2 back, 100%. I want Bieber now.
Do they trade Mason Miller at the deadline?
I think it all depends on what we're going to get in return, right? I think relievers, if there's one thing that a team can't afford to lose, is a reliever. I don't want to trade Mason Miller, but if the return's there, if we're going to get something back that makes sense, sure, absolutely.
Why hasn't he been as dominant?
I'm sorry?
Why hasn't he been as dominant this year?
He's been pretty damn good. He's had a couple bad outings, right? He's had one bad outing where he gave up a grand slam and another outing where he gave up 3 or 4 or 5 runs, right? And that's what you see when his ERA is north of 4. Other than that, he's been good. 19 of 21 and save chances, but when he's given up runs, he's gotten hit.
Yeah.
Well, we got the Guardians and the A's. I believe it's on WKYC. Is that correct?
It is. Tomorrow night.
How do you see this series playing out, and what are you going to be looking for between these two squads?
You know, guys, I think it's going to be a hell of a series. Like I said, I think this is the most important series for the Guardians of the whole season. Their next 6 games are winnable games, and we got the trade deadline coming up at the end of the month. And it's going to decide whether the Guardians are sellers or buyers, right? They're still in the hunt. I think we're going to have a competitive series. On the flip side of the things, you got the A's, man. We're a young team. We're playing loose. And when you have a young, loose team that just doesn't know any better, it's scary. If the Guardians overlook the A's and say, hey, they're the A's. Let's roll all over them, they're in for a surprise. They compete, and we see that play that we saw in Sacramento. Then we're in for, then it's going to be, they're in the right mindset, and the Cleveland can take 2 of 3. Cleveland has to win 4 out of their next 6 minimum, and it starts with the A's. I think it's going to be a good, fun series. If they overlook them, I think the A's will sweep the Guardians. If they don't, best case scenario, I think the Guardians will take 2 of 3. We're playing real good ball right now.
Bunni, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to come on with us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Hey, appreciate your time, guys. Should be a fun series, and enjoy your guys' show. Have a good one.
All right, take care. And
yeah, guys, before we get to our next topic, I do want to remind everybody that the Guardians versus Athletics is tomorrow on WKYC at 7 p.m. You can get all your coverage starting at 7 p.m., so make sure you tune in for the Guardians coming back from their break. Jerry Jeudy made the top 100 list for the first time in his career.
Here we go, man. Hey, congratulations, man. We listen. I was hurt. We moved at one point in time. Remember, we was doing this exercise, guys, and we would go down the list when we were contenders, and our window was wide open. We'd be like, hey, we need to be having 5, 6 more guys on this list.
It's crazy how the window, it went like that.
Myles Garrett.
Like when they
was running this out, think about this, Tyvus. You had Chubb in the top 20. Denzel Ward was in that list. You had Myles Garrett. You could always count on being in the top 10. They even had guys, I think a few of the linemen even made it. Didn't Batonio make it one year?
Yeah, he did.
In that 100? And it was like, man, we would be mad at it. Like, we ain't got that many people in there. But I'll tell you what, Jerry Jeudy made it. Now, we did this exercise on the barbershop one Saturday. And we said, okay.
How many receivers would you take?
Is Jerry Jeudy a top 32 receiver?
It's blasphemy that people say no.
But when you list the receivers,
I know we did. I had him in 3rd tier.
Yes, we did tiers. We had him in the 3rd tier.
I had him in the B tier.
It's why do you think people have a problem or have a issue with, or not even an issue, why do you think people, it's hard to judge what Jerry Jeudy is? Because I think if you ask people, it's all over the place, right?
When
Jerry
Jeudy came out, if I remember correctly, was he not the first receiver taken?
I think so.
Or was he second? Was that Jamar Chase?
I don't think he was first.
He had won the Bolitnikoff at Alabama.
He was that deal at Alabama. And when he got to the league, everybody had these high expectations for him, and he never really eclipsed it. But to be fair, he's never been on a team where he's had that opportunity. Like, the quarterback situation always was funky with him. So he's never really had that guy. And the best we seen was with Jameis. And Jameis, we know Jameis going to throw the ball no matter what the situation is. And he was like top 5 in receiving at the time. Like, that's the craziest part. So, like, for him, it's unfortunate because it's like nobody has ever seen what he could truly be. And now everybody thinks that he's just this guy. He's just another guy. But I think if you get him, I tell you what, give him Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen. I bet you he have like 1,700 yards in receiving. Like, that's the type of receiver he is. He gets separation and he makes plays. He just plays for not so good teams. That's all.
He was second behind Henry Ruggs.
Yes.
So
Henry Ruggs. Hey, man, he just got out. He's trying to make a comeback.
And CD went 3rd.
No.
So that's what it is. It's because, see, everybody compares. CD is doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, how is it that you was drafted before him and you can't do that type of
Jason,
stuff?
man, are you ready for Henry Ruggs is available.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, hey, he's trying to make a comeback.
You like,
No,
you
I'm
not,
good. I'm
I
good.
can't do it.
We had
I'm
Dante
good.
Stallworth.
We can't do it.
Oh, my God. No.
Jerry Jeudy, you look at it, Jason, them numbers is sneaky good. That might be one of the best seasons of all time for the Cleveland Browns. That's how bad our receiver corps have been.
Yeah, I mean, he was a disappointment in Denver. I think that's fair to say. He didn't live up to expectations, regardless of what the reasons were. He didn't have the career that he was expected to have. He came here and he didn't do a whole lot during the first half of the season. Again, some of the factors were out of his control. And when Jameis took over, he exploded. So now what's he do this year? We don't even know who the quarterback's going to be, so it's hard to say what the receiver's going to do. But certainly, he showed over the second half of last season that it's there. The talent is there and the potential's there. He just needs the right quarterback thrown to him. And receivers in the past have had good seasons with subpar quarterbacks, but certainly, you know, more than maybe any other position, receivers rely on an elite receiver can't do a whole lot with a mediocre quarterback. An elite quarterback can make a mediocre receiver look very, very good. So he's sort of at the mercy of who's thrown to him. And right now, we don't even know who that is.
I think if you were to ask him to a man face to face, and he was off the record, he definitely wants Flacco to start. Like he
For sure.
Absolutely. Receivers. Because here's the thing, we talk about it, not to say that the two rookies can't be nice or can't be good. It's just a level of, like, veteran quarterbacks just know certain things that it takes rookies to learn. Like, it's like there's sometimes, even when somebody's open, I believe that a veteran, when they're looking at film and they're getting ready to pull the trigger and throw the football, they're open and a rookie's open. It's two different things.
Yeah.
Like,
I learned that last year with talking to Will Howard. When he got to Ohio State, he would, like, look at film and they would be like, that guy is open. He's like, how? He said, no, what you going to do is you're going to throw the ball right here and he's open. You're going to throw him open.
Yeah.
And that is the mindset. Like, a lot of, it took Will, he was in college for 4 years. He took him to his fifth year to realize
Crazy.
that. Like, so
He also never
imagine coaching, if the coaching in college ain't that great, imagine coming to the NFL and now an NFL coach is saying, that dude is open. And you looking like, no, he's not. He got like two dudes all over him. What are you talking about? He said, no, throw that ball to where a veteran who's been in the league 6 or 7 years, they like, oh, yeah, that dude's wide open. I could throw him open. And Joe Flacco was perfect for doing that. I believe, was it the Rams? It was like the Rams game. One of his first starts, he threaded like this post route.
Right.
He threaded the needle straight down the middle of the field. And I'm looking like, why would he even throw that? But he threw it to Amari Cooper. It was wide open.
I swear they had route trees that I never saw before when Joe was the quarterback.
I was like,
I haven't seen before or since.
I said, when did he start throwing this little skinny line post like this?
They was killing that.
When he threw that Chicago, or no, was it Chicago or was it Jacksonville? Well, it was one of them games. I think it might have been Chicago.
I think it might have been Chicago. You
Man,
talking about the corner
when
route?
when he threw this sidearm rope, frozen laser to Amari Cooper, and it was in between a triangle of defenders, and Amari Cooper just grabbed the ball and turned around and ran up the sideline. I was like, so that's what it feels like.
That's why Jeudy won Flacco, because he's seen what happened with Coop. Broke the record for single game yards.
The good thing, though, regardless of who the quarterback is Judy's got his money. And he's got his contract. Yeah. He's not playing for a contract. Had he been in a contract year, this would be a problem.
Oh, yeah, because especially because we all know they're going to play 3-4 quarterbacks. So he might have some sort of chemistry with one of them, and they change. He's going to be like, listen, this is crazy. I got to start all the way over.
He's been paid. He's here locked up through, I think, 27. So that part is a big part of this. And the fact that he's got his money and that's to bed and he doesn't have to worry about that. He's not playing for a contract. That should help his attitude regardless of what the numbers look like.
Okay, we kill AB a lot. We get on him. But I got to give AB credit for this twice. One reason was he not only saw an opportunity to trade for him, he traded for them and got him. Two, when he traded for him, he gave him an extension sight unseen. He hadn't seen this dude, And people was kind of like, and he did it when Amari Cooper wanted money.
Yep.
So he basically chose him over Amari Cooper, who had put on that season before.
And I said he should have.
And he took the brunt. And then guess what? The third thing was he came out and had a career year. That's 3 for 3.
And he was right on Amari.
And he was right on that, too. He was washed. So if we going to get on him, listen, we got to keep it 100. The Jerry Jeudy move was a big move. It worked for him. And, Jerry Jeudy, in terms of a receiver, is he CeeDee Lamb? No. Is he Jamar Chase? No. But is he? I would put him in the same category as T. Higgins. Would you?
Yeah.
Well, there it is. You got him at T. Higgins, Jason?
I was looking up Amari. Is he even with the team?
No.
He's a free agent.
He's one of the guys that's not.
I was just like, I had to have missed it. He's had to have signed with somebody.
You know who is with the team? That 8-ball, Elijah Moore.
Oh, boy.
I think he replaced Amari at Buffalo. I think he was Buffalo.
Man, Elijah Moore, I've never seen somebody typecast it wrong. Like you ever?
If he go to Buffalo and have a year, I'm gonna be upset.
I mean,
I'm not gonna lie
they
to
told
you.
us that this dude
I'm gonna be upset.
was a gadget maestro. They tried to act like he was Percy Harvin. I was like, man, we got Percy.
Oh
Harvin?
yeah, they definitely. You talking about his first year when they first traded for him? For
Yeah.
sure. They had packages,
all kind of stuff.
that.
And then
I remember that's when I went to the practice. I had seen those TA practice.
That's when they was on you, Tyler.
Yeah.
He was getting
I was
reverses and rocket screens.
They gave up a second-round pick for that.
And a 2. And I'm looking at him. He got the ball, and he was getting tracked down by a defensive lineman. I said, oh, your speed was greatly oversold. This is not it. But no, Jerry. In terms of Jerry Jeudy, is he a number 1 receiver?
He is on this team.
I think he's a low-end one, but I think he's a 1.
And the reason I asked that question is because if you do think you have a number 1 receiver, and we kind of extrapolate and look towards next year's draft,
They're gonna trade for Chris Olave.
I wouldn't mind doing that. But here's the thing: But if you look at it, you say they're going to get a quarterback, right?
Yeah. So
assuming that they have a bad record and they need to package those picks and they don't have a number 1 pick, that's why you just. I would love to hope and pray that one of these dudes turn out, because then you can do something else. Because here's like this, Tyvus, because it's already in stone. If they are bad, they're going to take a quarterback, and they're going to take a tackle.
Yeah. Well, depending on how DeWine plays.
But even if they do, I would see them taking a tackle to replace Jack Conklin because he only got 1 year on his deal, right? Left.
This is his last year.
Is that Tevin Jenkins dude on a 1-year deal?
He is. But he's going to have to play his tail off and think about it.
They're definitely taking a tackle.
So I already know going into the season, we about to take a quarterback and a tackle if they don't ball out this year. And I'm still sitting here asking, where is the receiver?
Do you trust Andrew Berry to draft a receiver, though, next year if we do have a ball-out quarterback?
No, he'll trade for one.
Dang. That's
no. He gonna trade for him.
I don't trust. Here's the reason I don't trust.
I think
him.
he realizes he's better at trading.
I think he's correct. The reason I think I don't want him taking a receiver is because I think he's like a dude at the plate that's not seeing the baseball well. He don't trust it. He knows it's a curveball. He see it. But he can't do nothing about it. When you got Travis Hunter, right? And that was the can't miss. He said, nah, I got to go. I'm going to punt on this. Let me get something in next year's draft. I'm going to punt on that. I said, oh, you're squeamish about these receivers. David Bell, Schwartz, Donovan Peoples-Jones. We haven't, and if they taking a quarterback and a tackle, that means he's going to be picking from second-round guys.
The price on Hunter was so overwhelming. That was a Godfather offer to me. I don't know how you tell him no. When you get an extra 2 and a future 1 to go down 3 spots, yes, you're giving up Travis Hunter, but I screamed for months, you got to get another one. You got to find another one. You got to get another one somehow, some way. And they did, and they got it too. Now they used it on Judkins. So we'll see.
It's not like
Why you bring that back up?
Don't wash your hands. It's not we washing our hands.
I mean, it feels really bad right now.
This year is kind of like a wash.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, everything else about this year is a wash. That might as well be too.
You want to give hope? He will play in the preseason
if he signs.
He ain't got no choice. He has no leverage.
I don't know. He has no leverage. It's in their court in terms of.
I mean,
I think you'll see him in the preseason, and he better ball out because you ain't playing for. To me, my personal opinion, a minimum 6 weeks.
That they took a
7. Excuse me.
And we talk about we can't. Once we give it away, we give you props, and we take it away.
They take it and they give it.
I still think it could be. I am not down on Judkins as a long-term fit player for this offense and this team. It's just really disappointing and really unfortunate situation.
But it kind of wraps into the same thing. It's kind of like we talked about with Andrew Berry and what he is and what he's not, and what's his fault and what's not his fault. Sometimes there's a cumulative effect of it may not be naturally your fault. I used to tell my brother he was in these streaks of he was getting in these car accidents, which is scary, but he was doing it the worst way. He was getting in like fender benders, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, man, you done got in like 6 accidents in the last 2 years, bro. At some point, he's like, but they wasn't my fault. I'm like, I get that, but you got to question why these cars is just magnetized to your car. They just boom, just crashing into your situation. Andrew Berry, you got to ask yourself, like, dang, bro, I can't catch a break. Because this is the year, to me, he actually has to do something. I literally think, and you tell me if I'm wrong, Max Tyvus first. Is Kevin Stefanski and Andrew Berry a package deal? Meaning, they are both here, they are both gone. Or are they separate entities? Because the way they tried to sell it to us was they're 2 peas in a pot.
I think Jason always says that it's over in Berea for many, many years. It's always been a head coach and it's been a general manager, but they've never been on the same page. And he says, obviously, if you've seen what that's looked like. He said, this is the first time that both of them are lockstep. They are on the same page. They see it the same. Even Aditi comes on and she explains, like, a lot of the stuff y'all be blaming, it's really not in Kevin's hands and it's really not in Andrew Berry's hands. Like, that's kind of how she sold it. Like, they doing the best they can, but they a little don't look at me like that. So, to me, they a package deal.
All right, Jason, let me talk to you real quick. I'm starting to see some airspace. You know, I ain't saying it's a full-blown divorce, but I did see you out at the club doing karaoke last week, and you went with your girl, and it was 12 o'clock on a Tuesday. Like, I ain't saying that it's all bad, but
they ain't get caught on the jumbo.
Nah, they ain't get caught on the jumbo. Yeah. Is there? Are they? See, because me, I've always had the conspiracy theory. Yeah, there was a few picks in there that wasn't they picks, and right now, when they come to account and they talk about why this season, because if it's a bad season, we could talk about how we knew it all we want to now, but it's different when you in it.
Yeah.
When you get to November, you taking the mails, it's different.
It's not going to be like that. They're going to be 7-10. So.
Compared to Tyvus, we hope it'll happen. But Jason, are they locked step in terms of their security?
No, I don't think that they are a package deal. No, I think that, I mean, they have different roles, they have different jobs. If one guy's performing and one guy's not, although it's hard to say if they're having a bad year, you could make the case. You could fire them both, but that doesn't mean to me that they're a package deal. I think very much that they stand on their own. I've made the point multiple times. Kevin came first. This wasn't where the GM was higher than the GM picked the coach. Kevin was here first, and then the GM retrofitted who the head coach was. Isn't that a strange way of doing it? Not necessarily. I mean, Kyle Shanahan came first, and then John Lynch in San Francisco. I think more recently there have been other examples of that too, where the head coach comes first. Frankly, I think the head coach is probably the more important role. I mean, depending on how much power that head coach has. I mean, I think a lot of people are starting to zero in on Andrew Berry's track record, and rightfully so. You know, I mentioned it jokingly the other day, but when you draft more dudes who get arrested than who make the Pro Bowl, how can you not?
And the thing I'm looking at is what is the collateral damage, right? So for Andrew Berry, he definitely needs to get, because for him, I think more than anything, he needs to have a quarterback. I think if you find a quarterback, I think it saves everybody. If they said they found a franchise quarterback today, and they said, "Oh wow, we slipped up and we found something," they can write their future. However, if they go 3-2 and something and they're bad and you don't get no dividends on the rest of these dudes, I can see a world where they say, "Well, we think Kevin did what he was asked to a little better than you, and picking the quarterback is our main theater that we need to get done next year, so we don't know if we want to do that."
I think absolutely one could stay and one could go. We'll see.
Anthony?
Yeah, guys, before we bring in our guest, I want to remind everybody that today's episode is brought to you by Epicor. Every team knows the value of hard work and of taking pride in what you build and in practicing every detail to get the best result. But no one player, no matter how amazing, can do it all alone. Working together makes getting the win easier. At Epicor, the All-Stars are the hardworking manufacturers and distributors who create and deliver the things we all need, from aerospace to electrical to medical devices. ERP solutions are created by industry experts to help make every day easier, whether it's seeing your whole supply chain, managing logistics, or responding to price changes. From small businesses with big dreams to growing enterprises with global vision, we'll equip you with the right tools to move forward, think ahead, and lead the way. Because as the clock ticks down, you need to make the most out of every hardworking minute. Easier doesn't cut corners, easier finds the lane. Discover your success at www.easierwithepicor.com. I'm happy to bring in Ian Rapoport, is NFL's Network's senior insider, and you can see Ian on the Insider weeknight at 7 p.m. on NFL Network.
Ian, thanks for joining the show today.
What's going on? How you guys doing?
Well, we've been better.
Everything all right? What's wrong?
Our bell cow running back, Quinshon Judkins, was supposed to be a guy that we were going to lean heavily on this year after Nick Chubb kind of left and went to Houston. He was in some issues, and we talked about it earlier, speculating on how the league is going to take and handle it. We think that this could be a minimum of 6 games, given what the NFL's history is and track record against, domestic violence and different things like that. From your insight and what you're hearing, is a suspension imminent, and do you believe that it'll be a significant one?
First of all, the way this works and the way the NFL handles it is when there is an allegation, when there is a charge, in this case a misdemeanor charge, what the NFL generally does is allow the legal process to take place. So I guess figure out if he did it. Is he guilty? Where do the allegations stand with what the legal community actually finds? I think that's the first thing. Essentially, what is the outcome of his case? When that happens, when we have an outcome, when there is a determination of some sort, then the NFL will step in and essentially do its own investigation into the incident. And sometimes the NFL's ruling mirrors what was found by law enforcement. Sometimes it does not. But the NFL will essentially figure out after the legal process plays out, and then if there is a suspension, that's when it will be. So I do not believe anything would be imminent because the legal process is barely even started in this situation.
And Browns fan base is in a conundrum right now because you got 2 veteran quarterbacks, one that's 40, one that's, had some career with Pittsburgh, and then you got these 2 rookies. And everybody is worried about how much time should we give these rookies to make the decision, because obviously the Browns got those 2 first-round picks next year.
Yep.
Should they draft it? How do you see this playing out? What is the best way to find out what the Browns should do for next year's draft?
Well, I mean, we're a long way from there, obviously. But I do think what happens in the preseason. And I'm not talking about games, because games are important, but, practice reps, who gets the reps, how they're divvied up, how the players look when they get the opportunity to go with the ones. I mean, these are all things that are going to be weighed. Preseason game performance will be weighed. I don't know if either of these rookies will get into a game this year. You sort of hope they don't, right? I mean, you'd like to find out some things, but if everything is going well, if the Browns are cruising along, then I don't think either of these guys will see the field unless their play is that good where it just makes them get on the field, right? I think mostly it'll be practice reps. And, the Browns really do have, I'd say, a pretty good window of time. Like, both these guys don't have to play. You got a whole year to evaluate before you have to even think about anything. And you got a couple lottery tickets. If either of these guys is a starting quarterback, then the Browns are going to have a great 10 years. If not, cool, no big deal. Neither was that expensive. Neither was that high of a pick. Look to draft a quarterback next year and probably use both of your first-round picks to do it, depending on what the Browns' record is. So it's an interesting situation. They got a lot of time to figure it out, but I do think the training camp performance will help with that.
See, that's interesting, Ian, because I've made the case that they've got 1 year to sort of look at these guys, and I'm kind of also in the camp of they made the trade down because they're going to take a quarterback next year. The quarterback of the future for this team is on the roster next year. So why not throw the rookies out there while you've got 17 games to figure out what you got here? Or have they just made up their mind, we're just chipping and putting until next year's draft?
No, I don't think so. I think, quarterbacks are weird, right? Like, we've seen quarterbacks go first or second overall who have not panned out. We've seen the second quarterback be better than the first quarterback taken. We've seen fourth rounders, sixth rounders, become franchise quarterbacks. Like, it's all lottery tickets. So I would say best case scenario is one of these guys becomes the franchise starter, shows enough in camp where you're like, this guy has to start at some point, starts, and when you get the opportunity, takes advantage of it. And the next year the Browns basically have a free pick. That'd be the best case scenario. Mm-hmm. In others, but what I think they did was leave themselves outs, right? Like, neither of these guys was that expensive. Neither was a high pick. If they're both not good enough, like, okay, then they're quarterbacks that aren't good enough. The franchise will live, and then they'll use one or both those first-round pick next year to really help plan for their future.
With that being said, Ian, say, for instance, the rookies show enough where they think that they could be viable quarterbacks in the league. They put some you spent draft capital on those guys. You got 4 quarterbacks. One is Kenny Pickett. One is Joe Flacco. A lot of people think Joe Flacco is the odds-on favorite. My colleague Jason thinks that Kenny Pickett still has an opportunity. We'll see. Do you keep 4 quarterbacks? Is it a viable option to keep 4 quarterbacks on this roster?
I think they can. There's enough flexibility now with practice squads and elevations and ways to manage the roster where if you wanted to keep 4, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, Kenny Pickett was traded, for a quarterback who might not have made the roster. Like, I don't think that's a huge expense. So if one of these quarterbacks didn't work out, like, I don't think it's the end of the world. But keeping 4 isn't a big deal either, because again, like with quarterbacks, you just never know. So, like even for Kenny Pickett, who everyone for some reason, I'm not really sure, seems to be down on, it's like there's a chance he comes into camp, lights it up, is very good, and is the starter. Like, quarterbacks are so, not random, but so many different things can happen that it's really going to be fascinating to see.
Ian, last year the Browns ranked 32nd in offense, and this offseason they didn't really do a ton of movement on the offensive side of the ball. What makes you believe that this year they'll be better than 32nd?
Well, I would say last year there were several hard moments of quarterback play. If the quarterback play is average this year, then I think they'll be a lot better. Last year was, some ups and downs. There was some not good play by a couple of guys who are probably not going to be taking any snaps for the Browns this year. So I think if the quarterback play is average. I think they'll be fine. I would also say feels a little more like Kevin Stefanski, not taking back the offense, but kind of getting it more where he wants it, and I think that will help as well.
I would say Kevin Stefanski's taking back the offense. I think that's exactly what's happened. But how do you just overall, how do you view the job that Kevin has done and Andrew have done in their roles?
Well, Kevin's a couple-time coach of the year, so I would say he's a guy that a lot of people would want to have. It's hard, the Deshaun Watson deal makes a lot of this a challenge, right? Because I think there's a lot of ways that the Browns have been a really, really good organization. And in a lot of ways where a lot of teams would say, like, that's how we hope to do it, except then you have the Deshaun trade and then the contract, and he just, showed flashes of being the guy that they traded for, and each time that would happen, he would get injured. And that's, that's been tough. Ultimately, I think Jimmy Haslam has come out and sort of taken ownership of that decision that obviously has not worked out. It's tough to say, but like absent that quarterback move, I think they've all done great. It's just you can't really do that because that's such an important one.
Ian, a couple of weeks ago now, I think Mike Florio had did some work in terms of detailing the Deshaun Watson aftermath in terms of the guaranteed contract, where the owners and different people had met talking about the salary cap and how it specifically affects teams giving guaranteed contracts. What do you say the league his response to that? Because everyone throws the collusion word around. Does the league view it as they're just doing what they need to do to make sure that they don't be financially solvent, or do you think that there is some level of collusion in terms of making sure that salaries stay low in the league?
Well, first of all, just to be clear, I do not speak for the league. So I do not have, I don't have any sort of response from the league or anything like that. I would just say, taking a look at this situation, you look at the ruling, there was not a finding of collusion. I think that, the owners, obviously would like to pay less. The players would like to make more. The, owners would like to have as less guaranteed money as possible. The players would like to have as the most guaranteed money as they possibly can. I think that's always been the way it is. The management council in the NFL advises the teams on contracts. The NFLPA contract guys advise the agents on contract. I think it all sort of works as it should. The ruling sort of speaks for itself. I thought it was interesting that it was public, but I don't know that, it was sort of a surprising piece of news that everyone wants what's best for them when it comes to contracts.
Speaking of the contracts, did the Texans ruin the second-round draft picks by giving out the fully guaranteed contract, and now I think it's 30 out of 32 players second-rounders that haven't signed? How do you think that all ends?
2 more have signed since, so it's 28 now. No, I think it's all of that is coming. It kind of slowly makes its way up the round with each year, wanting to get a little more guaranteed than the previous year, just a higher percentage. So it's coming. I think the Texans did what's best for them and said, is it really that big of a deal if we're going to guarantee, 94%, does it matter if we guarantee 100%? I think they just did it. I would say all these things will probably happen. I think the next, the next day or so, 2 days, will probably solve a lot of these issues.
Did the 2 that just signed, did they get fully guaranteed as well?
No.
Oh.
They did not. They each got a little higher percentage, I believe, than was last year.
Okay.
When you mentioned Jimmy and Jimmy's role in the Deshaun thing, and I've talked to people that say about the job AB's done, and so but you have to understand sort of the constraints that they're dealing with ownership and ownership's influence in that. And the Deshaun example is pretty obvious, but just in general, can you sort of explain or speak to how an owner can empower a front office and how an owner can work in detriment to the people below him?
Yeah, I mean, I think empowering is to say, like, I hired really good people, let them work, right? I mean, I think that's what the really good owners do and say, I have really good people. I'm going to support. I'm going to give the resources. I'm going to do everything I can to advise, but ultimately it's your decision. Some people use the word meddle when it comes to owners, like, oh, this owner meddles. It's their team. It's not meddling when you own it, right? Like, you're allowed to do whatever you want. I think the main thing is if an owner does step in there and do something, push for something, as long as he has all of the information and as long as people who can sort of question say, are you sure you want to do this? Like, it's his team. The owners get to do what they want. They own the team. It's just really well-run organizations, and it happens all the time, by the way. Really well-run organizations will make sure that if an owner does that, he has all the relevant information.
That's what I was going to ask. How many owners do you think stay out of the way and let the people they hire run the teams, and how many are more involved?
It's tough to really quantify that. I'd say most owners, at the very least, like to be very, very informed of all the things. And I think if you're, like, for instance, if you're a coach who wants to stay employed, or you're a GM who wants to stay employed, and make sure that your owner is in the know and understands everything that's happening, because that's the best way to kind of have a falling out.
Obviously the Browns look like they're moving to Brook Park. They got the funding from the state. Does this open the door from our cousins down south in Cincinnati to kind of say, well, hold on here. You're giving the Browns some money. We need some money too. Do you think there's something that could be on the horizon in terms of the Bengals wanting some of the same treatment that the Browns got?
I'm not 100% sure what you're asking. Say that again. I'm sorry.
In terms of the governor, Mike DeWine, I believe they got $600 million for the stadium, the new stadium they're going to put together in Brook Park. And because it is state money, the Cincinnati Bengals have, been known as the quote-unquote poor franchise where they don't want to pay people. They've been a little cheaper on the margins. Do you think there's an opportunity now for the Cincinnati Bengals to say, well, listen, hey, the Browns got state money. We are in the state of Ohio. Is that something that could come up where they want a new stadium too?
I will probably stick to what I'm very good at and leave a lot of these sort of political and legal fights to the experts. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
That makes sense.
When you look at the AFC North, obviously the Steelers have been doing some things. They went out and got Aaron Rodgers. They made the trade for Jalen Ramsey and Jonnu Smith. Is this the year that you see them actually winning the playoff game? I know they haven't won one in quite some time. Did they do enough this offseason, and do you believe in their moves enough to say, I absolutely see them winning, getting past the first round of the playoffs?
I mean, I think they got as good a shot as they've had in a while. I really do. And, I don't really love the sort of narrative like can't win a playoff game, right? Because, it's hard enough to get there, and you can criticize, and there's like half the teams aren't even there or whatever. But I do think they're in a better position this year just because of the offseason moves they made. They're going to have stability at quarterback. Rodgers is going to be good. He's going to be better than he was last year. He's going to be probably a little bit better than he was at the end of last year when he kind of started to find his form. I would say, to me, they look to be in as good a position as they've been in recent years.
Ian, we thank you for your time coming on today. We appreciate you, and hopefully we'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Appreciate
Take care.
it. Ian Rapoport of the NFL Network. And we got about 10 minutes left, man. Where we going with this?
Well, I want to remind everybody before we move on that we're not going to have a normal show tomorrow, but you can also catch WKYC has the Guardians game when they come back, and then we're also doing two Ultimate 216s. We got one at 5 p.m. today with Earl and Cecil, and we got another one scheduled for tomorrow at 11 a.m. to cover for us not having a full show tomorrow. Do not forget, be tuned into both of them. It's going to be live tonight at 5 p.m. We've gone through the whole rundown. I got a couple super chats, but I do have something that I wanted to maybe address since we got a couple minutes here at the end. Have you guys seen the mock-ups of the brown helmets yet? The
No.
third Ultimates?
No.
I thought you guys might be interested in seeing this.
Of course.
I want to say Preston Battle over on Twitter did a mock-up of what people are expecting these to look like, and they're about to be announced sometime probably next week.
So this is just a guess.
This is 100%
I
a guess.
thought
Yes,
that
this is
was
a fan
it.
mock-up.
I was gonna be like, that is nasty.
You don't like it?
I kinda
You like it?
I like the matte better than
I
the
like
shiny.
the matte.
I don't like it.
You don't like the
I
matte?
don't like it.
I like the matte.
I mean, you don't have much to work with. Orange and brown is about as hideous of a color combination as you can have.
I hear you. So that's fire to you.
I mean,
I wouldn't call it fire.
what jersey they coming with that?
You tell me.
I would wear them. I don't think you would wear them with all browns.
No, that's too much.
Would this be maybe a color rush?
See, that's
They done got rid of color rushes though.
did they?
Yeah,
Well,
ain't
we
nobody
ain't,
wearing
we
them
ain't got
no
no Thursday game anyway. So
I keep trying to tell people. Now I know for a fact they won't put a logo on it because they're proud that we're the only team without a logo. So they're not going to put that on there. So that's one thing that's going to be missing. Two, they're not going to add another third alternate color. They could dress it up by putting a gray or black outline or something, which would look kind of dope. But since the Cincinnati Bengals have orange and black, they're not going to do that, and it's not going to
they
work.
could do it gray.
They should just change the colors. They really should just change the
What-
colors.
this bring-
We can't be called
This-
Browns and not be Browns.
This goes back to an age-old debate. When the Cleveland Browns left, there was a lot of different people who said we would like to get a brand new situation, but they was clamoring for the colors. We was
They wanted
emotional.
to keep the history. They wanted to
They
keep the
wanted
history.
to keep the history. You could have kept the history and left them uniforms at the crib.
Yeah.
Is it the orange or is it the brown?
It's the
Yes.
combination.
Yeah.
It's
If you could only change one, what would it be? What if you could only change one color between orange or brown? What would you change?
I would take out the orange. You can do more with brown. You could do like a brown and black type thing.
yeah. You could do.
brown and black.
I would
just
keep the
throwing it out
orange.
there. I would get rid of the- I would get rid of
keep
the
I
orange.
would. Your name is the Browns. You gotta have Browns. I would get rid of the orange. But I'm not a traditionalist. There's a lot of people that really like. If you polled the audience right now, people would probably poll at 60% and tell you them uniforms is iconic and we don't want to change them.
Them
under no
uniforms are
circumstance.
cursed, is what they are. They ain't iconic.
I thought
They're
it was.
cursed.
I thought it was the stadium. You don't think that you don't have positive thoughts that when
Listen.
they get to Brook Park that things is just magically gonna change?
No.
You don't think so? They say like it's a lot of wind and stuff down at the current
You know
stadium.
what's
It's
so
how you run the organization. It ain't where you're playing the game.
I've always thrown this out here and see how people would feel about it. Say for instance, if today, if the Cleveland Browns had two teams, they got the Browns, they doing whatever. If they came back right now and they said, we about to tear down the stadium, we'll build an indoor facility dome for this new franchise, and for the next 3 years, because they are a new franchise, we're going to give you the first pick overall for the next 3 years. Would you still root for the Browns? Or would you watch this new team?
Where's the team playing at?
Downtown.
So Cleveland's gonna have two teams.
Two teams. One playing Brook Park, one playing downtown. They get the first overall pick for 3 years. Stimulus package. And you can name your coach.
So this the problem. I have a loyalty problem.
Would you watch him?
I'd watch it, but I have a loyalty problem to where like I can't.
Well, yeah, okay.
I think younger generation would change. Older generation would stick. But I'm surprised. Well, I think more in your generation would leave.
Earl, would you leave? See?
Yeah. But Earl's a diehard.
Anthony, would you
Earl's
leave?
a diehard.
Now it would be hard because here's what'll happen. They got the stadium, but if you get a state-of-the-art stadium downtown, and you bring in a coach, say for instance, I don't know, just say Andy Reid or somebody. Say Andy Reid.
This is quite a world you're building.
You say Andy Reid. Now I'm just saying. I want to test your.
You can get Josh Allen is the quarterback.
Listen,
Bring Josh Allen.
Let's go with.
Wait, see, this is the thing. The reason what makes a Browns fan so good is like I don't want to be a guy that, oh yeah, they're good, so I'm gonna just go ride that wave. Like I want to be there through the thick and thin. Like I want to be the one. Like I was cheering for them when they was bad. Like I want to see it. It means more to see them win.
It'd be nice to have some thick.
You had it 2 years ago.
Hey man,
I had a lot of thin
You
around
had
here.
2 years ago.
I had some thick.
It ain't like it's just that far removed.
First round playoff loss. You're calling that thick?
I like the thick
2 years prior to that, you was
saying,
you
I like
just
that.
you won a playoff game.
Hey, but I'm saying, I'm telling you, people, you're only good as your options. You trust me.
Listen, I'm a loyal dude.
No, trust me. There's a lot of dudes out here, right? Be talking about they don't. Man, listen, man. I don't even be look. Okay, well, she just rolled up on you. What are you talking about? Now all of a sudden it changed. Winning changes stuff. If you get a dome downtown, you got all these picks, and guess what? If you got the number one overall pick for the next 3 years, guess what you can get?
Arch Manning and Jeremiah Smith.
Bow. You telling me in a brand new stadium down there, you got Arch Manning, Jeremiah Smith with new uniforms?
Which one are you taking?
And a good coach?
Which one are you taking?
I'd support it, but I'm not.
Jason, you trying to get me messed up.
You're the one throwing it out there. You won't answer it.
He's trying to get me canceled and tossed up out here.
The thing is, because they play in Cleveland, I would support it. It's not like I would be against it.
Right.
But if they played the Browns, I would root for the Browns.
It's an NFC team.
Oh, so I would root for them to get in the Super Bowl.
See, that's how it starts. You put them in the NFC. You like it don't even matter. It ain't even a conflict of interest. They ain't even gonna play each other, right? And then they go tell Tyvus, listen, I want you to be, you're going to be one of the big dudes of the new network, and I'm going to give you that bag. I want you at the new
They're
team.
going to pay me?
Yeah. They'll get you for the Browns radio network. They want you to bring you over there.
Well, I would do the respectable thing. I would go back to the Browns radio network, and I would say, this new team is offering me X, Y, and Z. What you going to do?
Nope. We got to pay Nathan Zagura.
I have a wife and 2 kids.
Tyvus said he's rooting for the new squad.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
No. I didn't say I was rooting for him. You said work for him.
Cash your checks.
I root for him. I'd still root for the Browns. I'm dang sure taking them that bag.
I would put a poll up, but I don't want the numbers to look too crazy. Because I think it's about 35-40% of people talk about, boy, that's a nice deal. But to answer your question, I still would have to ride with the Browns. You know,
I don't believe you.
You did all that.
Look, you gonna ask me. You know, I got shows to do.
the old Anchorman clip. I don't believe you.
And let's get to these super chats.
Yeah, guys, our first one today comes from Dragon the Abandoner. The Broncos did a whole uniform flip and won a bowl.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Buccaneers got rid of those crazy creamsicles, went to the pewter power.
Yeah, they did.
Won a bowl.
I got 2 from Kirk Davis. One's going to be, we got to be quick here, but we need Antonio Williams from Clemson. He's a monster. And the second one, he's asking, what are your guys' top 5 Cleveland sports players, past or present? Unfortunately, we don't have overtime today, so I don't know if we'll have the time to do all 5, but go.
Top 5 Cleveland sports players?
LeBron James, Kyrie Irving.
LeBron, Jim Brown.
Jim Tomey. No.
I don't know.
Give me.
I need more than 30
Give me
seconds
Joe
to come up
Thomas.
with that.
Give me LeBron. Give me Jim Brown.
Nick Chubb.
Give me Chubb.
There's too many Hall of Famers.
And then the last one, give me
of all time, Jim LeBron. Well, Jim and LeBron is on there. Like, let's just.
And
it's the last 3.
I'm gonna throw this one out here because I just had an affinity for him. I'm gonna throw Albert Bill in there.
All right, guys, and then the last one is from Brody's Bottom Line. If he did this in reference to Judkins, he should get a lot of games, but the victim got a lot of holes in her story. And that is all of our super chats today.
Does she?
Not really.
I
listen. The police
don't know what's going on.
The police report.
This is why I like to wait till the facts come out.
Hey,
the facts are out. There ain't a lot of holes.
Hey, that police report looked crazy. I don't. I can't. Yeah, no, bro.
Anyway,
it is what it is. But by the way, have a good rest of your evening.
Yeah, hey, just last reminder, guys, we don't have overtime today. We don't have a full show tomorrow, but Earl's doing 2 216s, 5 o'clock tonight, 11 a.m. tomorrow. And we're going to record our WKYC show right after this show, which is why we're not doing overtime. So you will still have a WKYC show you can watch Saturday on YouTube or tomorrow on Channel 3. Tune in 12:30.
By the way, good job for the staff holding it down. We were short staffed. Shout out to Anthony. Shout out to Earl and Steve for holding it down while we've been short.
Don't shout Steve out for nothing.
Dang, you hate. Dang, you hate. But we will say fade into oblivion.
He's going to start playing the Wolverine highlights. He's so disrespectful.
I got to learn how to do that when I direct.
Man, good gracious. Man, hey, what you think McNuggets is doing right now?
Eating pasta.
Backflips off a boat on the Amalfi Coast, according to the videos.
Somewhere hammered.
I hope he's not at a Coldplay concert.
Yeah, don't be. Hey,
Stay away from those Coldplay concerts.
keep away. Hey,
They end your life.
don't be messing around with the HR staff.